Askreddit, what are some things that adults should stop telling to young children? He's being mean to you because he likes you. So much this. Such a terrible lesson for young children. If a man abuses and belittles you, he loves you. Bullies will stop if you pay no mind to them. I was bullied by this girl, I'm a boy, for 4 or 5 years and never did anything about it except tell the teachers. They never did a thing except tell me to ignore her. Then one day I snapped. I rushed her, knocked her over, punched her face, then got up and kicked her face. I was suspended for like a week, but my parents didn't punish me. They knew she'd been bullying me for a long time, so they were actually proud of me for standing up for myself. Since then, I've gotten light insults from her, but overall, she's left me alone. I still regret nothing. Boys don't cry. They just punch holes on drywall. Never disobey an adult. If child molesting didn't exist, this would probably be a good thing to teach kids, but since child molesting exists, it's not a good idea to tell them this. People say plenty of harmful things too and tell them to do plenty of dangerous things even without molesting them. Give this random relative a hug. Kids shouldn't be forced to have physical contact if they don't want to. My nephew's husband's side didn't know me growing up because we weren't together and they were born when my husband was in his early teens. I never have and never will make them hug me regardless of what their mother, grandmother or aunts say. The younger of the two has taken to giving me hugs when coming or going, but the older isn't a touchy kid with anyone, so why should he be forced to hug me? Trust me when I say my in-laws aren't enjoying my parenting style this far, and that isn't likely to change. You should never be forced to touch anyone. You must share your toy if someone else wants to play with it. If a child wants to share, that's great. If not, that's okay too. It's her toy and her decision. I hope her choice reflects empathy, but you can't build empathy by taking away agency. Definitely, and trust their judgment on the matter. When I was young, my neighbors were quite rich, and so they were rough with toys because they'd always just be replaced. They'd ask to play with my toys, and my parents would always tell me to share, not understanding why I didn't want to until I came back with 3 to 4 broken toys on several occasions, some of which were my favorite. In the end, they saw me share with other people and just decided to trust me on it, because they certainly didn't trust the other kids anymore. Get in the van. Wait a minute. Young girl wears shorts, go change into pants, men are coming over. Wait a fracking minute, does that actually happen? Clean your plate. It ain't the Great Depression anymore. If the kid isn't hungry, he doesn't have to eat. He'll survive till the next meal. That's how my parents taught me to overeat, and I've been working my entire adult life to create healthier habits. To hug people that they don't want to. Oh my fracking god. Yes, like children shouldn't have to hug someone if they don't want to? But, it's just a hug, yes, but obviously it makes the child uncomfortable, so fracking stop. That anything they want to be or do is impossible. But they do need to learn at some point that the things they want often require hard work. Adults are always right. Respect and obey adults no matter what. You're very talented. Then praising my slightly above average knowledge from reading kids' encyclopedia, effectively making me think I know it all at age of 7. Hardwired in there, and it killed so much of my motivation, and the seeds of insecurity and mental illness, and typo. Holy shit. This explains so much. This is what happened to me. I'm legit having a moment here understanding why I thought I was such a great writer as a young kid, never really built that skill. If I wasn't reading this from bed, I would need to lie down. You'll understand when you're older. God, I wish that were true. Turns 18, I understand everything. I know you better than you know yourself. No, you don't. Exactly, my parents always say how they know how I act, except they're wrong. The only person on this planet that knows what I will do is myself. You should never hit someone even if they hit you first, maybe something more along the lines of, only hit someone if it is absolutely necessary. Don't hit someone just because you're angry. If you don't start behaving, that policeman will take you away. Fuck off with that shit. Kids should feel that cops are trusted, and if they're ever in danger or lost or anything, to go straight up to one, not be scared of being taken away because Karen can't discipline her kids properly. My mom used to do this to me and my brothers, but I knew that it was bullshit. Stop forcing children to finish all of the food on their plate, it leads to overeating and can cause eating disorders. My husband is 32 and still struggles with portions because of this crap. The sky's the limit, sorry kid, your future is pretty bleak. Seriously, we need more plumbers and mechanics, stop telling kids to set the bar so high. I work in construction and love it, by the way, I don't want to sound belittling. Do as I say, not as I do, as if kids don't learn by observing. I've never heard this phrase from anyone under 50. You can be anything you want when you grow up. There are just some jobs, vocations that are not open or suitable to everyone. Just because you want to do something doesn't automatically mean you can or should do something. Case in point, all the cringe-worthy performances on any number of reality singing shows like American Idol etc., where their parents have said they're good but they've clearly been fed a line of bullshit for so long they believe it. Then they get angry when people who actually know how to sing and have been in the industry for years tell them they're shit and will never make it. I think it should be, you can be anything you want to be, if you work hard enough, because hard work does wonders and more often than not, you'll eventually get there. That they are special. Unless your child has an 145 plus IQ or can perform at professional levels of sports while in middle school, they are not special. I'm very curious how many entitled people posts would not exist if we hadn't started telling our children this. Well, actually everyone is special, one way or another, no one is the same, such a thing is impossible. That everything will be okay. I think it's okay to tell small children everything is going to be okay? Especially if they're too young to understand or handle the truth. Stop comparing them to other kids. It ruins self-esteem big time. Right in the feels. My parents always talked about my cousins and their talents, achievements, etc. Jimmy is so smart, Jane is such a good pianist, Johnny has excellent hand-eye coordination. I felt like such a failure because no one ever praised me or talked positively about me. Turns out they knew I tested as gifted and purposely decided to never praise me because they didn't want to give me a big head. WTF? Thanks guys, I am glad I went through life with no self-esteem and no confidence. If you work hard, good things will happen, you will be successful, almost never actually true, and working hard for a potential reward is a problem in itself. The work should be coming from a desire or interest, not a potential gain. It places the value on the end product that your labor is disconnected from, rather than the process. Too bad this thought process doesn't work for 90% of the adult workforce. The only reason we work hard is for the reward, pay. These are the best years of your life. For most, they are not. Why tell a young child that it goes all downhill from there? I really hate when I hear an adult tell a young person this. You couldn't pay me $1 million to be a kid again. Anyone I've ever met who said their childhood, teen years were their best years are just shit at being adults. The whole encouragement of the princess thing for little girls gets to me. It just feeds the notion that if you're a girl, looks and material possessions are all that truly matter, that plus snagging the right prince, instead of all that baloney. Encourage your daughter to be herself and to be a critical thinker in every facet of her life. Have conversations with her as an intellectual equal. Talk with her about the news of the day and ask for her take on things and for her opinion. Discuss recent developments in science and get her thoughts. Leave all the princess crap on the shelf at Target. There was a Freakonomics episode about this the other day, particularly in the context of Hollywood and the movie industry. I think they had Gina Davis as a guest. Nasty stories where a bunch of kids and adults get murdered and then telling the kids those are good stories that they should base their morals on. This is normal? You should no matter what never hit a girl. One time I was cornered by a bully who was a girl, I'm a boy, and I wanted to get away, so I quickly hit her once in self-defense. I take karate classes, and this other boy saw it and verbally attacked me for it. I hate how boys aren't even socially allowed to defend themselves without being called sexist, or not upholding chivalry. When it comes to self-defense, it doesn't matter what the frick your gender is, gosh darn it. That Santa is a thing, I feel like I woulda loved my parents more if I knew they were the ones. Your parents fed you, gave you clothes and paid your rent that whole time, but a few Xmas presents would put you over the edge? Tell the teacher if someone is bullying, just fight them. You should tell a teacher first though. Fighting should be a last resort. Video games rot your brain. Depends if it's COD or not. Weed eater. Now that is funny. Sharing is caring. Also, condescending voices in general are bad, like if your child learned something, be proud. Also, that boys can't have feelings and should walk stuff off, and can't do feminine things and vice versa. If one of my friends said that, I would say, but I don't care, so I shouldn't share. It's really bullshit. I won't be angry if you tell me the truth, or, you shouldn't hit a girl, under any circumstances. I won't be angry if you tell me the truth, well, I'll be a damned sight less angry than if they lie to me. That there is a God. You're being downvoted, but seriously, being raised religious fracks a lot of people up. You can be whoever you want to be. I want to fly to the moon. And be a cactus. Go trick or treating kids. Go guysing instead. It's more traditional and not based on extortion. We know what is better for your future than you actually do. But this is often the case. You have to get married, no thank you. Kids are just too much for me as I'm not really good with them, and my experience with younger kids left a bad impression on me with kids in general. Be nice. For some reason girls in particular are told this. I think it's better to be honest, because nothing will get solved unless people are honest. There's absolutely no reason why you can't be both if you're not Spurgee. Please subscribe. Multiple videos uploaded daily.